Welcome, people, to this convoluted mess that we're going to be diving into. I am the bone of my sword Zog, and today, with my dear compatriots, Master Kelz, Command Spell Strange, and Noble Static.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me was like, "Is he gonna call me servant static?"
No,
No.
We are more sensitive than that, my guy. I say. Yeah.
I will say though, I did think about it. I thought it would have been a little uncouth.
I'm just saying, not the week of Black Panther, bro. Maybe next week. If we had done it like next week, like when Shazam comes out, sure. Maybe.
When Shazam
Comes out.
That's the bar.
God damn.
Shazam.
But unfortunately, no, we're not talking about Black Panther or anything like that. We're talking Fate Stay Night, the Unlimited Blade Works route.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh my
and,
god.
And the 2014 anime done by Ufotable.
I got heated in my search for Ufotable's Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works because it's just called Fate Stay Night, and that's disrespectful to Studio Dean. In that I don't know the difference when I'm just like, all right, time to go watch cool shit.
Yes,
but
I gotta look up. What is it? Fate Stay Night Unlimited Dean Works. Is that what it's called?
maybe
No,
it
it's
should be.
Unlimited Budget Works.
Which, you know what? Thank God. Ufotable putting in the
Yeah.
absolute work
It
for
looked good.
Yeah.
UBW.
And this is where that meme came from.
I think this was like the work that made Studio Dean or wow. I think this was the work that made Ufotable pop off in a lot of people's eyes. They're like, oh my gosh. But like the Fate universe, or sorry, the Natsuverse and Studio Ufotable go together like kind of like things that go together, bread and water. I don't know. Water and
Peanut butter and chocolate?
yes. Because they did oh my gosh, I know the
They
name
did
of it.
Zero.
They did Zero, yes, but they did before they even did this. They did the Whisper, like the other Natsu verse stuff.
Tsukihime?
Yes, Tsukihime. No, sorry, not Tsukihime. It's the one. I hate it, but it's like the one where the girl like drowns in the person's spit.
Oh shit!
See, everybody's like, I can't think of the name of it for the
I
life
don't like
of me right
that.
now. I'm a
don't like
bad
that at
person
all.
for not
Ugh.
having it.
I'm at a loss, my guy. I'm at a loss.
It's like, I know what this is, but I'm in the same boat as you. I cannot
It's,
remember the fucking name.
Natsuverse.
It's
So the anime
a knife, the horror,
Melty
psychological.
Blood, Tsukihime,
No, it's oh my gosh.
Kagetsu Toya,
Koriaki. It's the oh my god, what's the
Kara no Koi Kai.
yes that the English Garden of Sinners. There we go. I could not remember it for life.
Oh.
Of Sinners.
Yes. So
Right.
yes,
Oh.
which is very good, mind you, and very wild.
Weren't you trying to put
I
this
mean,
on our list?
The name
I was
the-
trying to put it on our list.
Is that the one where they have the specialize?
Yes.
This is- we're talking about the Natsuverse. The outliers when they don't have special eyes. It's like Naruto. The clans that matter are the ones with the special eyes.
Or
and everybody else is just trying to play catch up.
Or if they can, I mean, I don't know. Naruto was like, yeah, the strongest clan is the demon eye users and people who really couldn't do anything special, but one of them could use wood. So yeah, that works.
Yeah, this one did it better.
I love how the most OP power in Naruto is like wood. But anyway, but yeah, so Studio Ufotable has been with the Natsuverse for a whole
Yeah,
bit.
a whole minute.
Meh. I would posit no. Only since Fate Zero. Because Garden of Sinners came out in 2013, 1 year after Fate Zero. Now, that being said, that's fucking
right.
10 years ago. So, perhaps my perception is a little skewed of time.
The first Garden.
And considering how much production goes into these things, those two had to been worked on at the same time.
The first Garden of Sinners came out in 2007, my guy.
You might be right.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
am
scroll
right.
down the
'Cause I
wiki.
watched it back then. I was like,
I didn't scroll down the wiki. My bad.
it's okay.
You are squarely
I was like,
factually
I
correct.
know for a fact because I watched it in 2010. I was
See,
like,
I got my
Goddamn.
Google Foo up. I do not have my Wiki Foo up. That's why this is so dangerous.
it's
The Google Foo with no fact check.
it's okay. I was like, anime. It's like
Hey,
you know.
hey, phone, shut up. I didn't want to talk to you.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you, phone. Tell me about your life, your dreams, aspirations. But
Now you gonna have me watching 7 fucking Garden of Sinners movies.
bruh, I'm telling you, it's a whole thing, and it has like a horror aspect that you would like to it.
Yes.
Like, it's good.
next October.
So we know the next rabbit hole, but besides
no.
Fate.
Next October, we're doing it. I like it.
yes.
Uh,
But yeah, so like Ufotable has been there for that, and also, but like I feel like they popped off doing Unlimited Blade Works. Like that was
it's
and-
definitely when they became a household name.
yes, like it was a whole vibe, and like really just so, and I feel so. One thing I want to talk about is how it's not just a different animation. Some people say, "Oh, animation carries." Like a lot of people just like the Unlimited Blade Works better than the Dean because of animation. No, it's because the pacing is better, storytelling's better, and
I'll argue the story's just better put together.
yeah, I feel like it's just a better time. But it's strange.
The Dean route has the unfortunate disadvantage that they tried to adapt more than just the one route.
Yeah,
They tried to do like aspects of the whole damn game, the whole visual novel. It didn't work too well. They put a damn good effort in, and for what they had at the time, it worked. This was way more focused and, in my opinion, a better put together product because of it.
I would say it was definitely more enjoyable to watch, not only because the animation, I guess, was a little bit better, but like, as you said, the story and everything. I'm sorry, at first, Zero was all right. Zero was like, yeah, okay, this is kind of cool. You know, I'm having, it's a little fun. So, for the most part. And then Dean was like, oh, it's such a okay, I gotta get through it. It's like, This one was like, all right, here we go. Finally, yes, satisfaction.
Maybe I'm just a fucking Studio Dean fanboy. But I appreciate, and nothing you're saying is technically incorrect, right? I enjoyed Studio Dean's Fate Stay Night. And the fact that Ufotable doesn't go back and redo that route. They leave it be. They move on to Unlimited Blade Works and eventually Heaven's Field. And Fate and Ufotable at this point can never be rent asunder, which is just so exciting because Ufotable's putting out such fucking great work. It's so gorgeous.
Y'all keep talking about Heaven's. Is it Heaven's Feel or Field?
Feel. It's feel.
like
Heaven's
touch?
feel.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So
not like
let's
poor.
Well,
like,
it's like, okay, so it's like, is Heaven's Field just must be like you made every single bad choice in the game?
No,
That's how you
no.
get
No.
there.
All right,
No.
let's touch on this. I will introduce this on the basic level, and we will get the expert's opinion. Gentlemen, if you would so regale us when I get to that. All right, so the whole idea about Fate Stay Night is it's an OG light novel that has 3 separate story paths. Same universe, same set of characters, different situations, and plot twists happen as you chase the paths down. So Studio Dean adapted, among other things, specifically the Saber route. And, the idea here being, one, it's a light novel, so we're breaking it up by love interest, and also the fact that the second route, which we deal with here, is not necessarily labeled at the love. We'll get to it. All right. Studio Dean did the Saber route, where the love interest was Saber. Okay.
Yes.
Ufotable starts with Unlimited Blade Works, which is the second route, because this game has 3 story paths, and that route being the love interest of Ren Tosaka, but also focusing on the fact that Shiro Emiya is a relevant major character, and this focuses on his development, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, we focus on the Heavensfield route, which is primarily focused on the development of Sakura.
Oh.
Yes. Without without spoiling,
Yeah.
yes. That's because if I said more about the Heavensfield route, it would be like a huge spoiler. So yeah.
Oh,
But
and she was completely absent from this version, which I was like, you know,
Yes,
I'm kind of
but-
glad, because the last time she was involved got really weird. But
Yeah. Not to, because Dean did adapt a little bit of Heavensfield stuff in their route when they did Fate Stay Night. Not to get too much into that, but you really have to ignore Sakura in the game to actually get this stuff going. The moment you start paying attention to Sakura and going deep into their conversations, Heavensfield starts in the game. But that's why some versions you have to beat the game 1 or 2 times before you're allowed to go to that.
Yeah.
because with the knowledge I have from Zero, knowing what happened to her,
Mhm.
like it's interesting because I guess before this, when did Zero came out after Unlimited Blade Works, right?
No.
Really?
So it goes Fate Stay Night with Studio. Entire game comes out. Studio
2004.
Dean puts out their adaptation. Then we
2006.
go Zero, UBW,
2012.
and then
2014.
Heavensfield.
Yes.
It's like having a fucking encyclopedia on
Alright.
staff. I love it.
All right, weird.
Uh-huh.
So okay, I mean, I guess you would sort of know then if you did watch Zero before this, which I mean,
You would
Yeah,
you would
at
have
this
some
but-
point, if you were a fan, you would have seen
you would
it.
have some context, but you would not necessarily know all the crazy shit that happened with Studio Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
honestly.
but like if you watched Dean, then Zero, and then Unlimited Blade Works, you'd be like, well, what about Sakura? Where's
Well,
and then
if,
it's like, oh,
if
here's
you were
Yes,
that big of
the-
a nerd, you would also know about the like light novel paths.
that's true.
Like you would have
is
read
also
that
true.
shit already.
Can we just say that I guess Studio Dean did the first playthrough on their file and they didn't know what the optimal route was, so they just skipped around a bunch of places.
A little bit, yeah.
First playthrough of the on the game file, and then the next studio just picks it up and is like, "Hey, we'll continue
Good.
on from here."
Now, I want to touch on something. The focus of this being a light novel is which romantic interest gets pursued based on the storyline.
Well,
What do we think about that?
it's a good differentiator to just like tell the casual fan, oh, in this route he fucks her.
Oh, by the way, yeah, that's not like
does he?
1/3 of the point of Fate
Yeah.
light novels is 1, we bring back dead heroes. 2, they fuck.
Yeah. As a differentiator for just describe it to a basic fan or someone trying to get into it, it works real well. The thing is, Nasu didn't want to make this an eroge game or anything. He
So-
didn't want to add any of that stuff.
Then why'd they
But
do
he
it?
knew because it sold. He knew it would make money, and he knew it was a good way to get his story out there. So, fuck it. Sex sells.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I feel like it's the differentiator. It's like who it focuses on, like because who has like more of the character development or growth. Because I feel like the Dean route is the Saber route. A lot of people think this is the Ren route, but it's really the Shiro route, and
We don't
then
really
Heavensfield. like obviously the Sakura route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each one has it has major story focus outside of the girls. Like you were saying, this one is all about Shiro. You get all of his thoughts, everything here. If you watch this one, you know Shiro Emiya inside and out by the end of it. So now you go through any of the other routes, you don't have to ask the question of what would he do. It's clear what he's supposed to be doing. So that way, when he's like acting out of character or something, now the question is, what are the extenuating circumstances making him act like this, and why is that affecting him?
I can say though, and I appreciate that I got to watch the Dean version before this one, which I did hear that like that was something that you should do, is watch the Dean version before you watch Unlimited Blade Works, because like you get to spend time with other characters who tragically die in this route. I'm like, dang, everybody's dead, but the one person I wanted to die. Because I'm like, woo, like,
Yeah.
at least we got to spend time with those characters and learn about their struggles, and it actually made their deaths a little bit sadder in this one. But
If it makes you feel any better, every iteration, my favorite character dies.
At least she gets a happy ending in the end.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Or if I'm thinking of the right character, I'm pretty sure I am.
So all I'm saying is,
oh, I know. Okay, there you go.
Ryder gets smoked.
Oh yes,
Before we
totally
move on,
smoked.
Right,
Like,
Ryder gets done dirty in this.
yeah. So before we move on, from the waifus we know so far, Rin or Saber, how do we feel about the connection to Shiro Emiya? Like, which one do you vote between the two? We haven't seen Heaven's Field. We all haven't seen Heaven's Field. So just split the difference between the two.
Yeah. As far as like story potential, if they were to go into like in more depth stuff, Saber's the way to go with that.
Yeah.
But I also feel like not to say either choice is wrong or anything, but in that sense, I feel like Saber's a more safer choice in that aspect. Even though I've known a lot of people who will say like Rin's just your classic tsundere, so not much more than that. Because of how in depth they give you into her like personality and everything in this, I feel like the show is a counterbalance to that in and of itself. And yeah, I love Rin. Rin would easily be my choice.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Rin as well. Only because Saber's a two-dimensional character. Very literally. But so is Rin. But like Saber's really just kind of like, yo, and it's not Saber's time, you know. Like Saber doesn't want that either. Rin needs like, I mean, everybody in the series needs love.
I saw
honestly.
Studio Dean's version, but no, continue.
Yeah, and honestly, like the character development on Rin, and also once you like, also the fact that like it's obviously Rin, because if we're being technical, getting into, it like Archer came back for her, even though it looks like, you know, it was because of the gym and all that. You find out it was really because of Rin, like her affinity pulled him out of the like, whatever the heroes are stashed at was like his affinity and stuff for Rin. So
the Throne of Heroes.
Yeah.
His
Hero
ability
pool.
to even be his ability to even be summoned is a convoluted whole mind fuck.
And
Which
Rin is technically
I
the only
think we-
person who can summon him because of that reason.
Part of the reason is because of the catalyst. Part of the reason is because of their connection. Yes.
I think we
Unless-
should get into that
Just say unless you're on
You-
the
before
you-
the end, but
you-
not quite yet.
Unless
okay.
you're on the moon.
unless you're on the moon, then you could summon all the servants,
Dude,
all
okay.
everything and every time,
Okay.
and have them fight
You-
each other.
Strange, just you are not ready for the moon.
I've been to the moon. I know
Melty
about
blood?
the moon, sort of.
You know about the moon? I
I've
promise
played
you,
the
you don't know
games.
enough.
I played those 2 games that came out. I know things ish.
Okay. Zog, I appreciate
Oh,
your
you
point
crazy bastard.
about Rin being the quote-unquote basic tsundere, but not really, because of the setup and our history and explanation for why she is this way, right? It's a combination of her upbringing and status as like a high-level mage, but also like not having
PTSD.
the guidance. Yes, absolutely. The trauma she's had from having to give away her fucking sister, and also her dad going off to fight a fucking wizard war and then dying, and then her mom being murdered, and then living her life for 10 years with the vendetta of getting back to the Grail to change shit.
Her mom wasn't
Yeah.
murdered.
Well,
Her mom,
she's a vegetable.
you wouldn't say.
No, she got...
She-
did you,
Yeah, she got choked out, basically became a vegetable, died like a year or 2 later.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah,
But she
'cause-
was during all of this, she was also raised by the homicidal murderous priest that killed her father.
yeah.
Fake
Yeah. No, real priest. Real
No,
priest.
he's a real priest.
The
Yeah,
real fake
real-
priest. It's what Ren
He's a
calls him, so fake priest.
Right. Well, that's because he's also a Satanist.
He's sanctioned by the church. That's all that matters.
The church got blown up. Doesn't mean
He killed his dad. Anyway. But no,
He
I appreciate the nuance that comes along with the face value trope that is Ren. Ren has more depth to her that we get to explore if we so well want to. If we don't want to pay attention, well, tsundere, which is
Yeah,
also fine. There's so much.
That's
shit
what you get
here.
the stereotype for. So
she starts
Kai-
off as definitely like a major tsundere, like, that's gonna be annoying. But then she gets a lot better as time goes on. And I would have to say that I do kind of prefer Ren. I was like, if Amy were to get with anybody, Ren has to be it. But then I haven't watched the movies yet, so I don't know. I could be.
But also, Static, I also appreciate your point that the fact that Saber is really single note character. Like
Hello.
can
name
committed to
is Saber.
chivalry and doing her duty, and at least the challenge in Studio Dean's OG Fate route, like, yeah, cool, great. That's the crux of the plot, is doing your duty and like accepting help and also committing yourself, and great. But here it's just
Yeah.
You know, I can't help, like, I'm not really a Saber fan, but I can't help but feel Saber got so hoed in this series. She did nothing until, like, near the end. That was... I'm like, is Saber going to do anything?
that is, yeah, I feel that, and that is entirely because Shiro was her master. Not even kidding. Because Shiro sucks at magic and magecraft so bad he has no skill in it, that reflects on her and her abilities as his servant. Because when Rin becomes her master in this route, she has all her power available. She's top tier servant at that point. Hell, she might have been able to take on Berserker 1-on-1.
Well, yeah. That was... Oh... Bazaka. Anyway.
Yeah.
He said no.
all right. I want to touch on.
I'm just...
I want to touch on one thing specifically.
Okay.
A lot of characters in the UBW route get waxed.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
Go
All
ahead.
right. So Ryder gets waxed off camera.
But then we see, after
Ilias
that, we see-
Field gets squished. Oh,
That poor girl. That poor girl.
Gosh.
along with plenty others, man.
Yeah. Her 2 maids get just fucked and wrecked.
Oh my god. I'm like, can I know, okay. And I know you've said this before. I just want to see what a normal Grail War looks like.
There
without
is
all
no
the BS.
normal Grail
See,
War.
Dude,
No.
dude.
What does
That's
it
why
look
we
like?
start. That's why we started you out with Fate Zero. That's a normal Grail War to them.
Well,
That's the most normal a Grail War is usually fought. Outside of the ending just being like, no, refuse the Grail because it's corrupt.
Which-
Normally it's just, that's how you fight it. You win the Grail. Huzzah.
okay, hold on. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but
Please do.
oh gosh, okay.
Mhm.
I only now maybe I don't. Okay, I feel like I've only scratched the surface to what this Holy Grail thing is even supposed to be, which is
Probably.
like this one explained it a little bit more. But I still have no freaking clue what the whole. Why do we keep fighting this thing if it's corrupted? Why do we keep trying to make wishes? Who keeps not telling people about this?
The church, and we fight for it because what else are we gonna do for magic?
It's kind of.
But
And
it's
they also
terrible
don't know.
magic.
It's
It's like the worst kind of magic.
yeah. This whole system was built. They go in depth on it in Heaven's Feel, and
course.
you will get your explanations there to the corruption and everything. All I'm gonna say is that they can't even, no matter how powerful your magecraft is, unless you're a fucking witch like Medea, you're not doing something on that level. You're not stopping time. You're not doing that level of crazy shit. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Especially if all you got to do is risk the lives of people out from history that you just steal and throw into a war they have nothing to do with.
But then, though that's used to power the thing, I get that. But I just, the moon makes more sense. Let's take me back to the moon.
It doesn't make any more sense.
When the moon makes more sense.
There's
Oh,
a
dear
computer
God.
on the moon that could summon the servants. Sure, I that's fine. Whatever. This
That's
whole
some fucking
lesser
Yu-Gi-Oh
grail, greater
shit.
Grand
grail
Order.
thing doesn't.
I think that's great.
Jack me into
not,
the moon matrix.
Not really. The moon cell is Fate Extra. That one is you got the basics of that one down.
Like, because I played the games, I would hope I'd have something of it. But like, I don't know. Like I maybe when I watch Heaven's Feel, it'll make a lot more sense. But I was still like, what the crap is this Grail?
Now-
Why is there a lesser and greater Grail? And why is it they hate each other and try to kill everything?
Now all of these routes and everything are just adaptations.
Mhm.
So they have to streamline some things, change some things, and just cut some things out. So yeah, there may be some things that by this point, playing through the visual novel, you may completely understand. That's just not here in the anime because it wasn't important to the story that was actually being told here, but it's important to the whole world building and lore. The best advice I can give you is either play the visual novel or wait till Heaven's Feel.
All right, I'll wait till Heaven's Feel. Let's go. I'm ready for
But
sadness.
if you haven't noticed it already, each route is darker and crazier than the last one.
I mean, once
So
I was kind of waiting. I was like, I knew fate. I know it's messed up, as people have told me. And when Gilgamesh shoved the heart into his stomach and he just went like, I said, there it is. That's what I was waiting for. That's messed up right there. That's body horror.
Akira. Yeah. They just went full Akira with that.
It was nasty.
Okay.
Hot.
No.
I want to touch on something that I noticed in my rewatch
Okay.
that I think sets up for Heaven's Field. Okay. I'm excited to see your opinions of this idea. But, okay, so we open the show. This is in the first 7 episodes because I was very passionate about my rewatch. Also very realistic with the fact that I'm a lazy asshole. I'm at the beginning of the series, we introduce these characters and we're going through the whole building up to the Grail War. we're introducing a various masters. We got a lot of Rin at the beginning. And in like a home scene with Emiya and Sakura, Sakura's hand has some kind of marking or bruising on it. And Emiya looks and he's like, Did your brother hurt you again? And she's like, No, my brother did not hurt me again. And we go down this story thread that is Emiya accusing Shinji Matoi of hurting Sakura, who is his adopted sister. But I don't think that he put his hands on her. I think because the Matois are a magicless family, they use the magic of the Tosakas to summon Rider.
That is fair.
That is...
I will tell you that. That's fair. And if we've all watched Fate Zero, so...
Yeah.
She had to be taken into that family for myriad of reasons I will not get into until we come back to this podcast to talk about Heaven's Feel. But how do I put this?
I'm not off base, but I don't have the full picture.
I'm just saying, save it for Heaven's Feel. Because you got to go
definitely,
in blind. You got to go in blind. I swear, if you go to the wiki, I'm
already there.
I will go find Akurai and get the end of JoJo's and ruin it for you.
And
I will study traditional Japanese and be like, Joestar was the only Jonathan all along.
All I'm saying is I don't think you could ruin JoJo's because I don't think it really has much of a point, which is the fun part about it for me. Like, there's no big pinnacle ending. Like, it just exists. It's not like I'm waiting for One Piece to, like, conclude.
I'll take all your courses and demand tutoring for every single one of them.
Fucking do it. Pay my bills. Anyways, I will strive to not spoil myself more than having been a rewatcher. But I noticed this, and I'm like, That's about all I noticed.
That's fair. I don't have a good way to give you an answer to any of that.
Which is okay. It's for the best.
Yeah.
I was just like, well, that was the unfinished story thread. Good job, everybody. We did it. Let's wrap it up. We didn't get to finish that one.
Well, if you want everything wrapped up in a nice bow, it requires more than one go-through. And sometimes life just doesn't give you closure. You just got to deal with the emptiness.
Yep.
So, one other big thing. You said question?
Nope, depression.
Depression. Speaking of depression,
no, we haven't even touched that yet.
One major big reveal that we find out. So, in Studio Dean's route, we have Archer, who is the bone of his sword. And he croaks fighting Berserker, that is Hercules.
But took out 5 of his lives though. Good on him.
Yep. And throughout this, we don't ever get revealed who exactly historically this Archer is. But in UBW, we sure as fuck do.
Oh yeah.
And the big reveal, spoilers, is that
one of the worst kept secrets.
It really is.
Shiro Emiya is Archer from the future? Where in the future? What?
Yeah.
The past future, the present future, we don't know. Yeah. It was a future.
Archer / heroic spirit Emiya is literally just a later, more mature version of Shiro.
More tan,
lighter hair, redder clothes.
Licked hair back,
He somehow found hair gel in the Middle East.
Which it's like, in this one, I kind of, because I already kind of knew who Archer was. Like, it was kind of spoiled for me, but it's like not a big deal. Oh, okay, cool. So this one, like, oh, well, his archer class, because when he was in high school, he took archer club. That's why
He
he's
was
an
good
archer.
with archery.
He did a good
Well-
bow, and then he quit. But he's an archer class because that's why. He laughed. Well, I was like,
mean,
wait, I don't
you're
remember
not-
this in Dean. Wait,
Okay.
Did he see the archery club in D? I don't remember.
No, we didn't
So-
have
He
any
was.
backlight. He was Archer,
Yeah.
but we didn't have any explanation for it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and another thing that it says like I think it's like either Fate Apocrypha or like one of the like other fates that it said like that sometimes your weapon class is not always dictated to what you are proficient in, it's what you have an emotional attachment to as well. And that's how they kind of explain him with the archery thing, because archery club was like the one thing he like wanted to do for himself and that enjoyed that he kind of quit because my toy bitch Shinji or
Yeah.
Anyways.
Shinji was kind of a bitch, and he got injured,
Whole bitch.
and he basically gave up on what he liked to follow a dream.
but he was the best. It wasn't that he was just kind of good at it. He was like naturally the best in the whole archery club without really like putting forth that much effort. So it makes sense. But
Yeah. To quote a parody series, he was basically Robin Hood.
yeah. Plus like he was he even really an archer anyway? He was more so a
he should
Swiss Army knife.
Well,
He could shoot a sword if he wants to as well
Yeah.
on the bow.
Also shoot a beam
he-
cannon.
he didn't even have to shoot it. He could just summon it and launch it. And honestly, if you can call Gilgamesh an archer, you can call him an archer.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why is? Because of
Yeah.
certain other classes that probably Gilgamesh would fall better into, but
Plus, as Grand Order, if you play the mobile game or just watch some of that stuff, has shown you can have the same exact servant in a different class. They'll have different abilities and noble phantasms and stats, but it's the same exact person just at a different stage in their life.
I'm going to go with Gilgamesh wouldn't really work as another class because he shoots his fucking catalog of weapons without touching them. The only thing he touches is his noble phantasm.
Yeah,
Jade
And
Bolt.
that-
Wait, nope.
Nope.
that's
I know. I know.
Eilish something.
it's
Benny
the
McSpinner
dimension sword Aya.
die.
It's Aya.
Yeah.
that one, yeah.
And that just shoots a fucking like murder beam. Also a projectile. So, boom.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
unravels reality.
Yeah, casually.
Boom.
Well, yeah.
It-
Well, which these gifts from the gods.
Could you imagine though if somehow, some way, like some kind of card game collector person just got brought back as a heroic spirit, and that was their ability was to launch all their card collections at people or something?
I'm pretty sure they'd be a caster and just summoning monsters all over the place.
Maybe.
Probably. Yeah.
Man, there, like I said earlier, there's a massive convoluted answer as to why Shiro and Archer and all of that shit is the way it is. The short version is heroic spirits are supposed to be dead and have done great deeds in their life, and they get recorded into history magically, but they're supposed to be dead. Shiro didn't die. He got brought into that shit while he was still alive.
Yeah.
Because of his will
So
to be a
there-
hero.
Boom. And he got brought into it by a different force that actually records these things. So
Which they don't explain really.
They
that.
don't.
It's just it's an orb, and it goes around and says, "You are chosen. I'm going to touch all over your face and record you." It's like, no, what?
I can get it. I could get into all of that, but we'd be here for like another 20 minutes. Short version, TLDR, magical bullshit is bullshit, but it's always going to end up that way, and you're always going to make deals with the devil doing it.
I can make up
He,
the Fate story
and-
right now.
Yeah, and because he was technically still alive, he retains all of his memories even after he's been summoned and disappears.
Except when he doesn't. Like this plot.
If you're talking about the different routes and whatnot,
At the beginning of this one, he didn't have his memory.
He doesn't tell us he
he
remembers.
said he didn't have his memories.
Fuck Shiro Emiya. Every
Yeah,
single one. of them.
Exactly. He was,
Pretty much just fuck shit.
like
But
Also,
that's why you'll have him show up in different games being like, I'm nameless. I'm Heroic Spirit Emiya. I'm an assassin, but I know all these archer tricks.
Aesthetic.
also, there's like the fact that so when every hero also has their own wish as well to be granted. Hero's wish was pure of not having a wish, but just wanted to have a peaceful world. That's kind of why he was chosen as well, because he was the only true selfless quote hero of justice in the world.
Yeah,
And
But
then
it's just anime shonen bullshit.
honestly,
kind of.
because that
You got a major shonen protagonist thrown into a shoujo mess.
And can I say, I do appreciate the fact that this route, at least this adaptation, kind of explains why Shiro starts getting at least somewhat decent with magic. It's like, oh, you awakened the dormant circuits inside you. That's now here. Let me push a button, and all right, you're good to go. Your arm's not numb anymore. I was like, okay. We didn't explain that last
Yeah.
time. He was just like,
Well-
I'm going to do this now. I'm like, okay.
Well, I thought the explanation previously, and we have so much of this shit we've watched. I thought the explanation previously was that he was misunderstanding the type of magic he was using, right? So it
Yeah.
wasn't actually reinforcement magic. He later figured out it was actually creation magic that helped him grow.
Sort of. He doesn't he projects. He makes illusionary projections, and then he hardens them into real objects. He's really good with swords and blades, specifically because Kiritsugu put Avalon inside of him. That, again, not to bog down too many lore details and whatnot, every living thing has an origin. It's a special power inside of them. His changed into swords when that thing got put inside of him.
So every human has a full bring, and that manifests.
Yes. Yes. But yeah, because of that, he's real good at using the swords and projections and whatnot. And the hardening and reinforcement stuff just helped him create the weird, nonsensical magic he uses. The major thing he was doing wrong was that he was forcing the magic through into his body and basically treating it like a life or death situation every time he did it. But because of that, that also heightened his awareness and his senses to magic. So as a servant with all those crazy-ass reflexes and physical abilities, he's got shit stats but can perform on par with the best of the best.
That sounds like Emiya to a T. Shit
Yeah, it really
stats.
does.
Still a shonen hero.
Wow. It's like,
I okay.
Yeah.
So I am of two minds of this. Okay. One, I appreciate Shiro Emiya as this basic bland shonen hero, that we also get like a deeper backstory, because in the beginning time we spend with him, tragedy happens, but he doesn't have much of a personality. He's a good dude, able to fix shit, doesn't have any magic. He's the Naruto of fate.
Oh, he has
But
a beast inside of him.
Well, the
He is
the
the
beast is
beast
fucking
inside of
time
him.
travel and other magical bullshit, which we get to, right? We see more of him kind of struggle with his convictions and his commitment to being a hero of justice, and the way that he witnesses that ideal change in a different way, in a different age that Kuritsugu gets challenged. And then we also add on to his growth, the whole idea that he winds up eventually becoming such an important figure to at least somebody that he becomes a fucking hero of justice and winds up being a servant. So we don't have the two dots connecting, but we know they eventually probably do.
Oh wait,
And I think that is an interesting thing. The time travel shit, the lack of explanation, and the way this fits with the rest of the lore in a convenient way to understand right now is
Right.
the thing that is bothersome to me. But
Oh,
I
I was gonna-
enjoy I enjoy the character. Strange, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought he did die eventually, though, while he was doing the teleporting hero thing. Like he
He,
teleported to a different age, got betrayed, then hung.
Yes, but no. Okay, heroic spirits and just servants in general are they're basically like saved files on your computer. They're just saved at that point in
Yeah.
history right before they died or whatever. Since he was alive and whatnot, he kinda is, but is also receiving updates as he goes. He remembers all of those experiences and everything. But he more or less will default back to this other form anytime he quote unquote dies. Since he didn't actually die when he was chosen and became this thing, he is neither living nor dead. Unknown to death, but nor to life. That's why that line is specifically in there, in his chant.
I have forged over 1,000 blades.
Steel is my body and fire is my blood.
What a time.
And the big
What a
reveal, with his actual reality marble fucking noble phantasm. And we get the speech again, the motherfucking prayer. Oh.
It goes fucking hard.
It does.
That's my shit, man. I love it.
I was like, oh, he's saying the line. He's doing the thing.
People die when they are killed.
Oh,
Yeah. How do y'all feel about Archer? Though? Like, do you think he was betrayed, Ren? Do you think that he really cared about her through and through? Like,
I mean, sure he cared, but overall, I was like, okay, let me gather my thoughts. Okay,
Please do.
Archer probably is still my favorite servant. Oh, like just because I just like the way I like his
He got
like
style.
weapons and style and everything. But this one, I was like, he's really not. I'm a douche bucket in this series. And I'm like, he's kind of like not in my favor right now. I'm kind of teetering towards like Castor. I was like, yo, Castor's pretty cool. Castor's got like the whole flying cape thing with the multicolors and shooting lasers and got this whole plan, and rule breaker is pretty cool. But then I don't know. It's just like, Archer, you're not doing me any favors right now. You're being kind of a jerk. And then he's like, I'm not a jerk. Now I'm back to being a jerk. You make up your mind.
that's my secret, Ren. I was always a jerk.
Always a jerk.
I mean, when Ren Tosaka was at some point, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really can't say too much about like my feelings of like his motives. I feel like best Archer, in my opinion, we haven't seen yet, based off feats and things that he did, but which is weird because you think this would be the best archer that we. But
I mean,
No,
you see the most of him here.
Yeah, we see a fuck lot of Shiro Emiya like that.
Yeah, we do.
yeah. Also, I love the way he smiled at Rin when he died or faded away. Like it's all like, okay, that was. I don't know. You can't tell me that he didn't care about Rin. Like most of all. Like,
Most satisfying moment when he said, whip, right to Gilgamesh's forehead. I was like, yes! That's what I've been waiting for this whole time.
I'll just cut off my arm. Or this.
yeah.
For the longest time, like with Strange, just this version of Shiro Archer was my favorite character in Fate. I think as time has gone by and everything, I've sort of like mellowed, and I've seen more and more. I've sort of mellowed away from that, but like I still love this character, especially in this route, just because of how introspective it is. I'm also a sucker for the dark mirror kind of like trope in writing. So to see it play out here as not only a dark reflection, but a mentor figure to like boost Shiro up and make him better. To actually challenge him on his ideals, his morals, and everything.
I feel that.
I'm here for this.
And I gotta be. Right?
I feel you, but also the fact that the first challenge to the ideals was we're going to have an argument, and then I'm gonna cut you in the fucking back as you walk away. Like that's some Karitsugu shit. Like, all right, you want to be a hero of justice? Well, I will teach you the cost of your ideals and not sticking to them.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of why Archer just lost his shit and wanted to basically suicide his way out of this. Because he had become so much like Kiritsugu and just realized, oh, this is why Dad gave up on this. This is the stuff I wasn't ready for. Which
is like super real because you think about it. Like that whole thing itself, because Kiritsugu didn't start off being the way he was. And the same thing with the priest dude, Kire. Like both of them had like noble causes but then they kind of deviated into this, and saw with that with waxed. Archer as well. What?
He gets waxed. It's so bad, this series. So, I said, this is what you get.
I mean, which way's worse? Dying by a servant the way he did, or dying to Shiro Emiya in the Dean route?
I mean,
yeah, it's bad.
I will say this. Gilgamesh is for the streets, every route.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Hercules had that W. Alexander the Great had that W. And I won't say who else had that W, but we know they had that W too. So
Medusa. Anyway, I'm reaching here.
Medusa just is a W.
Except
not until heaven.
Except in UBW.
She's UBW.
She gets done so dirty.
Holy shit! When that neck turns round and round.
It was when the head went like. I said.
Yeah.
No.
I can't wait till we get to Heaven's Feel. Writers up there for me.
I call dibs on Heaven's Feel, by the way.
Oh, you.
There's 3 films.
Sure.
Thank God.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be real with you. The best way to experience it is as a trilogy.
Yes, all together, like just pain.
I mean, it's no worse than watching 24 episodes.
Yeah, it's less than this. Well, if Strange, better not skip through movies though.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No.
Why are they in London? If you watched, you would have known.
Oh, I watched it. I literally did because Red was like, "I'm going to London."
Or
cool.
First, the school of people who made it out of the fucking nerve gear, and
which
they
is
need to be made up.
Oh my God, basically
Same plot, right?
Basically,
which
basically.
is it's so ironic to think about. It's like, hey, it's kind of like Naruto vibes. It's like, hey, Naruto, I know you just like saved us from this great war and aliens, and you and Sasuke are the strongest people in history, but like, you ain't no Chunin, you dumb bitch. Read all these books before we worship you. Like, if I was Naruto, I would have let Kurama out and just destroy the village in that
No.
moment. I was like, you telling
know
me
what? Kurama,
after all
Kurama,
this,
you can complete your
like,
job.
I
that you
gave
started
you an
16
eye.
years ago.
I gave
I
you
brought
an
you
eye.
back
And
to
this
life.
is how I get treated. Like,
Listen.
nah. Demon
Listen.
coming out, man.
All I'm saying
All 9 of them.
is fucking
Different
Orochimaru was well read. You want him being your motherfucking
I'm trying
Hokage?
to tell you. He was the smartest person in the village.
Yeah.
He was also the most
He
sadistic.
literally became the
Yeah.
Hokage because he was
don't
there
know.
and not the weakest. Hokirama became at least succession. Like, it's bullcrap. Bullcrap.
Yeah, I'm not
Anyway,
saying it's not systemic, but
yeah. But anywho,
yeah.
Um,
I gotta touch on one thing that I'm going to immediately forget,
okay.
but yeah, I've forgotten, and that's
Wait.
okay.
Aw.
I should have written it down. It has to do with Archer. I'll come back to it. If
About
I
him
remember
shooting
it.
the bow.
It's
doing
fate.
Sword. Yeah, his fit.
Hair.
His
That fit.
at the very end where he's like,
No.
I guess I'll do my job.
No. Oh, it was okay. This was we're going back to Fate Zero
Oh no.
and how in the different paths, Kuritsugu and the priest whose name is a name.
Kirei.
Kirei, yes. So my argument here is that Kuritsugu and Kirei are almost parallels, but the statement that they are both products of their environment, I don't think is entirely accurate, because Kirei is a fucking psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
Where Kuritsugu is fucked up because of his ideals and the way that he has experienced the world.
And his
And that
dad.
has shaped his actions. Yeah. But Kirei is just fucked up from the womb.
Yeah.
More.
Like,
Kirei was like, honestly, I see Kirei as kind of that like repressed Catholic school kid. The one who was just like, I just want to see what's gonna happen over here. That's not what Jesus said, and he got beat for it. But so he learned how to be like, so he was just super prim proper for the longest time, and then when Gilgamesh was just like, but why not do this though?
yo, yeah.
And he found out how like funny, how like sadistic he can actually be.
Yeah, like you could
he
experience
just ran with it.
Yeah, you can experience the pleasures of life. That's the whole point of living. And with that, Kirei got pleasure out of being a fucking psychopath. So my argument is that he's a psychopath.
You know
And
what else
Kuritsugu learns the way of his thing, but not necessarily Kirei. Strange.
Yeah, sorry. Literally just remembered Media's whole like how she got to where she was, like at the temple.
Yeah, the backstory.
That was messed up as
Her-
well. I said, oh,
Her first master.
first master was just a hoe who couldn't like take criticism. So oh, an all-powerful servant from the Holy Grail knows how to do a thing better than me that I've spent all this money on? I hate it.
I summoned a caster servant that's good at magic. What do you mean she's better at me than magic?
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, that guy needed to die anyway.
Yeah.
That was too many orphans.
Um.
He did too much with those orphans.
But yeah, like, and I'm just like upset because Iliasville's death, man, was just so heart wrenching. And like Hercules went off. He even had like a 10th labor. They added a whole thing to his lore just so he could be out here like. And Gilgamesh is just like playing the game with. He's a pay to win character, and Hercules is out here grinding from like level 1, like doing all the extended routes,
Oh.
double EXP weekends, like. And Gilgamesh is just a hoe, and then how he just ripped the Grail out of little, and just, I hated it. And like, the thing that pains me the most about the Unlimited Blade Works route, that Shiro never gets to know that that's his sister. Like, and it's just like, ugh, painful. Like, I'm just like, I wish he would have known, or something. It's just like she turned out to be like a psychic, like say, sadistic little girl.
I
Yeah.
I think at least with the anime adaptation, I don't think we have enough runtime, or we don't choose to spend the runtime on that plot point.
It's definitely a choice because
and-
it was like said in Dean like 2 minutes. Like,
And we, in Dean, we spend a lot of time with them interacting with each other. But in UBW, we have this line where Eliasfield, and because I watched the first 7 episodes, it comes to mind. We have this line where Eliasfield's like, yeah, I've seen this guy before, and we've talked before, and it's the first time we're interacting with Shiro and Archer. Well, with Archer and Hercules, and then Shiro and Saber. That's like the first time, and it's an interaction between Eliasfield and Rin, and it's a dialogue. You want to introduce yourself again, and she's like, well, maybe I've already talked to him before, but I'd introduce myself to that boy, but not you. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that we just passed over in the anime adaptation that may be touched on again in the actual light novel route.
Yeah. It's, as far as this route goes, since it's so integral to like Shiro understanding himself and his ideals, adding extra stuff like that wouldn't really affect it would just be like a side quest. So it, runtime wise, it was probably one of the first things that would get cut.
And I feel like that they could have written a story, and by they I mean either Ufotable's adaptation or Natsu could have written a story where the whole fact that Karitsugu had this child that was an adoptive relative of Shiro might have been relevant in a real impactful way to the characters themselves, like progression. But it's more of a touching point to make a connection between two characters, and it's never really elaborated on. It's like it's really only there for Eliasfield's motivation to go kill everybody. Like, because my dad left and he chose Emiya. I'm gonna go be friendly, but also kill everyone because my job is to be the fucking Grail vessel.
To yet again quote a parody of this that I found, she really wanted to show him that her dad could kick his dad's ass.
Okay.
Just
Their dads are the same.
Yeah.
Their dads, are the same, but Heracles was more of a dad to Ilya than Kiritsugu, because he was actually there.
Oh,
I mean,
didn't
he
know
was
that.
there. It wasn't. I mean,
They forced him to be.
yeah,
there,
that's
but
why
he was
Fate
there.
Zero is so important. Like at the end there, but like, he was still there. It's like the whole Boruto. Well,
He
not
tried.
quite like the whole Boruto thing at all, but he was there for most of her life at that point.
For a few years, early years, and he did try to go back. He often tried to go back there, but no one ever told Ilya that. In fact, it was told to her that he never came back. that he just adopted a son and was just like, this is my life now.
Yeah. Fucking hate the Einsville. But yeah. So did y'all have like a favorite fight or favorite character before we wrap it up? Like favorite servant? Favorite fight scene servant from this adaptation? Strain said archers. About you, Kelz?
You know what? My favorite character was the archery friend.
A random girl?
Yeah, the random girl. Like no cap this time.
Ayako.
No cap this time. Ayako.
Yeah.
The
Ayako.
one who got her, like, the one who got the, like, blood sucked out or whatever.
Yeah, that was like getting fucked with in the school.
Yeah, I think her name was Ayako.
Like, that was, I really liked Ayako in that it gave a basic ass person for Shiro to relate to. It grounded us in reality, this character, and Ayako's concern for, not only her club and Sakura, but also like worrying about if Shiro's gonna come back to the archery club. I appreciated her, and it was one of those things that, like, I wish she was like a real love interest. Like, it wasn't just, and we're fucking in this route. It was that, like, we spent a little bit more time kind of toying with the okay, who's it gonna be? Can it be this regular ass girl, or can it be the fucking magical girl? We know which answer it's going to be. I don't blame them for that, but I do appreciate this character for, like, existing and having more of a grounding route, in the same way that we have that kind of grounding character with the big sister teacher character. Fujine. Yeah, I really like I don't know,
I
fucking
love Taiga.
coming off the top of the dome here. I love the grounding, folks, as we go off and tell fucking time travel bullshit. He's not actually dead. He's dead, but also, like, he's
Shut the fuck up
it's
and
the
deal
same
with it.
character. Don't worry about it. Yeah. The grounding character is my favorite.
I hate how Kukulane doesn't get any love in this podcast. Like, no one said anything about him in this podcast.
What the fuck is a Kukulane?
Hey.
He's the Lancer.
He's the guy who has the awesome opening fight with
Saber.
Archer and Saber.
I mean, after Fate Stay Night, fuck.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, to be fair, Fate Stay Night itself doesn't show Kukulane any love.
No,
Yeah.
like, I liked him a lot better in this route. Cool. Definitely, like, he got a little bit more respect for me just because he was like, "Nah, she's cool. I'm gonna stick with her." Like, whatever. Screw my other master. He's kind of a douche bucket. But, like, I liked him a bit better. But yeah, I mean, overall favorite. I mean, so, like, in this route, Hercules got a lot better for me. I was like, okay, cool. And then Kukulane also got a lot better for me in this one. And Caster. Pretty much. Yeah. Assassin just kind of stayed Assassin. Like, I was like, he's
That's
still
fair.
the same, like, oh, I'm not real. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Same song, slightly different note this time, but yeah. He never showed. I've never seen him show back up in any of the other Fate stuff.
Because I kind of appreciate that, just because of the way that his character exists, and also you and I don't know the depths of this lore, my guy.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Yeah.
But I, again, in the same way that I talked to him in our Studio Dean episode, I really like, in the same way we go off the rails with Shiro Emiya's fucking Spirit Emiya, we also have this thing with Caster, where she didn't summon a real, like, historical figure. She summoned the culmination of every fictional swordsman ever published in this one person, which is why he's able to do this crazy bullshit 3 sword strikes at the same time reality shit. because it's not real. And I just love that whole idea that, okay, well, we're going to draw from shit that doesn't factually or didn't factually exist, but it's here.
True.
Which I'm still waiting for the servant that can summon a giant robot mech.
Don't
waiting on
get
that
me
one.
excited.
that already
man.
happened in Zero, bruh, with Caster. From paying attention.
Yeah,
It was a
not so
soul
much
mech.
robot. Sort of, yeah. I'm gonna be honest. It was such eldritch horror that I'm just like, he
That's what-
summoned Cthulhu. He just
Okay.
summoned Cthulhu.
That was
No, he
Cthulhu,
summoned a
not
giant
I was like, not a
monster. He
mech.
didn't- Yeah, get the fuck
Same
out of
thing.
here.
He did pilot it G Gundam style though.
Yeah, he did.
Who got me there?
You mean he was absorbed as a part of it? But
Yeah, semantics.
yes, when they have a giant robot, I agree. Strange. I will be excited for that. Give me
Watch
fucking,
Grand Order.
What the fuck is a grand?
There's
Which
actually-
one? Which one?
Yeah, there's
from-
actually a
Yeah,
servant
there-
that summons a mech.
Yeah, they have movies based around the different stories in the game, and some
You could see
and some
Kelz
series.
is going to look it up right now.
Stop.
we saw
The
it.
Grand Order mech.
It's like,
Outright.
I love all the
Side note.
servants.
Mecha Ellie-chan. What the fuck is
and
this?
as a side note, when Camelot.
Okay, this is fucking My Life as a Teenage robot shit. This is not a giant robot.
It's a robot mech. I don't know which one you're looking at, so it might not be the right one.
I mean,
I'm looking at
Yeah.
Mecha Ellie-chan, the dragon-tailed mech girl. But
one of them.
anyways,
Yeah.
Fate Stay Night.
Hercules.
You were
Unlimited
Still
Blade
you were
Works.
saying about
disappointed.
fight.
did not see Neko Arcadia in this one. Still don't know who
Shut up.
Arcadia is. Still don't know why it's Cat Girl either. Don't know anything. I just know Neko Arcadia is in existence and controls like time and space for whatever reason.
Hercules.
Literally, who's said Hercules?
I'm
Yes,
just
because
to
I
get
was
back to
trying to
this
say
point.
what my
Yeah,
favorite servant was. You kept talking about
Hercules.
Cat Strange. Hercules. In the podcast. Let's go.
God damn.
yeah. But why though?
Because Hercules was just pure strength. He didn't rely on any tricks or plot or bullcrap. Like, and Elias feel like low key best character. Like, honestly, have all this bullcrap, and she's also Shiro's big sister. Ironically, she's older than him.
Weird.
Yeah. Also, as far as this series is concerned, Hercules' best dad.
He's just out here with a giant shiv and strength, man, and also like
Okay.
He just stand there getting eaten up by wolves.
I'm
yeah.
gonna put this on the list. I'm gonna put this on the list, Zog. Best dads in anime.
Best dads in anime.
Fucking
Eric.
As you said.
Berserker from Fate Stay Night. Okay.
And that's the way he straight up defended her. Like, I'm sorry, he went out like a G. Out of all the servants, like he went out like a G. Like,
He made Gilgamesh sweat.
yes.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to do that.
Almost, man. I guess second favorite servant was Lancelot, but he doesn't come back. I don't think so. Oh well.
No.
Lancelot.
He was just
Yeah.
in Zero.
Lancelot's cool. He can
But
literally.
he's
take
not in
anything
this
and-
though.
I know, but he's my second favorite. Anyways, that's,
Okay, it's
I wish he came
Iskandar.
back.
You're wrong,
Dope.
but it's okay.
Just dumb shit.
You can be right. You can be berserk. Shout out Iskandar. So yeah, Unlimited Blade Works. Fate.
yeah. Stay nice.
It's good shit.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites. I just lump all the Fate Day Night into one. I put it in my top 10 category because I'm like, I'm
You
not
kinda
doing this.
have
Yeah,
to.
I'm not gonna be like part 2, part 3. Like they're all. If I had to only pick one, it would probably be Heaven's Field. But like they're all part of the same story, so they all go in there. But for the sake of my Heaven's Field. But yeah. Shout out to UBW. Shout out to Stranger's first experience of UBW. And
Yeah,
next,
it was
I'm excited to
good.
go into Heaven's Field and have not just Strange, but you as well, Kelz, be completely in the dark about what's happening. Hopefully,
Yes,
I don't know what.
completely in the dark.
In the dark.
I'll tell you, even if you read it, seeing it will blow your mind. Like, cause I
Which-
knew some things, and then seeing it still, like,
Seeing is believing.
I'm
Yes.
just like,
Uh,
I
we
would put.
get-
it's gonna be a trip.
It is.
We get more body horror stuff, which I'm sure we will. That'll probably be a little
All I'm
uncomfortable.
gonna say is Heavensfield is the darkest of all the routes.
Yay!
Like-
Yo,
All right.
Kai, movie marathon.
Yes,
Re-
I was
rewatch
just
this
about to
shit.
say that. Like right after I finished watching Evangelion in theaters in Destin, I'm gonna come home and watch Heavensfield so we can do
Yeah,
it in
shit.
January.
I need to start our rewatch on that. All right, Kai, I need to ask you this question before we wrap up. And I feel like
Okay.
there is only one other person who may know what we're describing, and that's probably for the best. You say it's the darker of the three routes. Okay. Compared to Uritsukidoji,
I
how
knew it.
dark?
I knew it.
How
It
dark
has-
is Heavensfield?
It has some elements of that in there.
Because we get
actually.
some gnarly shit in like
Actually.
the way the Matoys work and just
Yeah.
anime in general.
Yeah, one of the it has some scenes that could be in Uritsukidoji. Sure.
Okay, that doesn't
One
inspire
scene
me,
in
but-
particular, which is just yeah. Ah.
Maybe we should make Strange watch that before he goes into Fate.
I'm
Anyways,
excited. I want to be there when Strange watches.
Side note: how do you spell that thing you just said?
Don't.
It's
on our-
No, I'm gonna let him be scarred.
Yeah, we'll
Scar me.
tell you on the other
Scar
half.
me. At this point, I'm looking for stuff that hurts me. Let's go.
You're lying, April.
Yes, you're lying, April.
That is on my list.
It'll hurt you, all right. I was like, this isn't so bad. Episode 24. What the fuck, man?
Oh, I gotta wait that long.
Well, no, but like, I just can't ever. I haven't been able to listen to piano music. But anyway, so
Anyways, yeah, we got
yeah.
an outro to do. I'm glad that it's spooky, but not the spookiest thing.
Yeah,
And by
no,
spook,
it's
I mean
very-
gross.
it's fire.
Yes. All right, wrapping this up because I gotta make a phone call. Apparently, fuck.
Weird.
All here on Content Breaker. You can catch us on all your podcatchers, talking Spotify, and since Amazon Podcast at Content Breaker or Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well. Content Breaker, gentlemen, y'all have stuff too.
Yes, you can find me at Static Dreads with a C because I'm cool, and that's where all my hot takes stuff will be. So Elon takes us to Twitter 2.0.
Great. Strange.
Cool. Look for Strangely Entertaining on Twitch, YouTube. There you can find my Twitter. And try to stream Tuesdays, 9 o'clock Central Time.
Excellent. Zog, we have a plan that we wrote down at least 2 months ago. We'll see if we stick to it. What's next on the docket?
Mira.
Oh.
Going back to Primal.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
I was like,
That-
this is
that
how
took
out
you a
here
second,
making
didn't it?
vanilla noises.
That took you a second, didn't it?
Hey, you almost got a hard.
He said
Yeah,
he said
we're-
Mira, and I was like, oh, yeah. Well,
I'm like,
Yeah, we're going back to Primal.
Mirai Shiki, we've done this one. Yes, next week. Gendy, Tartakovsky, season month 2. No, Primal. Catch y'all next week on Content Breaker.